Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Eric learns Jude is Nicole's child at the onlooker. Stephanie goggled at Everett's unfilled office and wailed. Stephanie called Everett's telephone, yet it went directly to phone message. I'm beginning to stress. Where could you be? Stephanie said. In the cross-examination room at the police headquarters, Rafe and Jada asked Marlena on the off chance that she knew for what good reason Everett had gone after Eric without incitement. I cannot give you any data grounded on past mental meetings that I have had with him. I can give you perceptivity that I have acquired from at that moment during the meeting since I'm as of now not his specialist, Marlena made sense of. Rafe said he comprehended. Jada inquired as to whether she had a potential assessment. It would just be conceivable outcomes, however it would be grounded on what the four of us saw at that moment here, Marlena said. With a snort, Rafe noticed that Everett had led like two distinct individuals. Bobby and Everett, Jada said. Marlena bumped yes. The two of them live inside his head, Marlena said. Marlena recommended that it was conceivable that Everett had dissociative personality protest did. I'm somewhat acquainted with it. Abigail DiMera had it, Rafe said. Marlena jerked indeed, and she noticed that it was an intriguing protest. By and large, it happens as a result of some early youth injury, Marlena added. Marlena contended that Everett had blown up on the grounds that Eric's battle with Sloane had ignited Everett to remember an immaturity injury and transform into Bobby. In any case, this would make sense of so a lot, Jada said, on the off chance that this is valid. Stephanie posted his bail. We ought to call her, Rafe added. At the point when Stephanie addressed the call, she let Jada know that she hadn't seen Everett since his delivery. Jada requested that Stephanie visit the station so they could quibble new validation. After the call, Jada owned up to Marlena and Rafe that she hadn't accepted that did was a genuine article. Marlena noticed that it was interesting yet treatable. Be that as it may, who in the world knows where Everett is at the present time? Rafe mumbled. At the point when Stephanie showed up at the station, she asked what was off base. Marlena, Jada, and Rafe clarified for Stephanie that it was conceivable that Everett had did. My God, I don't trust this, Stephanie said. Jada noticed that it seemed okay why Bobby had moved her inconsistent messages. All that I was so furious about. All that he did to hurt me, the lying, the betrayal, leaving me, he just did that since his other character didn't realize that he was, Jada said. Stephanie asked Marlena how they could help Everett. Everett needs to concede that he wants assistance, Marlena said. In any case, you released him from your consideration, Stephanie said. With a shake of her head, Marlena made sense of that Everett had stopped treatment. Marlena made sense of that Everett was impervious to getting help since he was frightened. And that is where you stop by, Marlena said. What else is there to do? Stephanie inquired. Marlena made sense of that the jazzy treatment for did was savage psychotherapy, however Everett would have to acknowledge help. What's more, you are trusting that I can move him, Stephanie said. Marlena let Stephanie know that she was their sleek shot. Stephanie consented to help. Marlena encouraged Stephanie to do definitively and not drive Everett into cure. Above all, we've to track down him, Rafe said. In the city forecourt, Johnny and Chanel ate at the bistro, and Johnny grinned as he noticed that Chanel had all the earmarks of being over her morning disorder. I'm voracious, however I'm disturbed about this little individual that is developing within me, Chanel said. I'm unsettled, as well, Johnny conceded. Chanel blazoned that she at this point not had any desire to stress over the potential confusions from the radiation. With a smile, Chanel said that she needed to enlighten everybody concerning the child. At the point when Johnny conceded that he was hesitant to share the news so ahead of time in the grove, Chanel contended that they ought to focus on the positive prospects. I need to partake in each snapshot of this development, and we cannot do that assuming we continue to deal with it like some large, dull mystery, Chanel said. At the point when Johnny stayed calm, Chanel got some information about his investigations. I am permitting that isn't the main explanation, alright? It's not only the fear of the radiation openness that I am hesitant to tell individuals we are pregnant, Johnny said. Johnny reminded Chanel Fate.J. Furthermore, Nicole had lost a child recently. With a gesture, Chanel proposed that the news Fate.J. Furthermore, Nicole had a grandkid on the way would assist them with recuperating from their own misfortune maybe, Johnny reputed. Chanel noticed that she'd begin to show soon. I really had not to be sure permitted about that, Johnny conceded. Chanel laughed. Indeed, Daddy, it's time that you begin permitting about it, since this little bone is then to remain. Thus, it's time that we begin permitting about the future, Chanel said. Nicole was working in the Demera lounge when Holly messaged her an explanation. The course book read, truly grieved about our battle. Didn't intend what I said, was recently stressed. I want to believe that you can pardon me. I love you. Nicole grinned, and she messaged back to Holly that she cherished Holly.E.J. Conveyed in a nibble charger, and he saw the preoccupied look all over. Nicole told E.J. about Holly's reading material. I realized she'd come around eventually, express regret over the amount she hurt you, E.J. said. E.J's telephone ringed with a call from his assistant. I told you not to annoy me second, except if it was basic. E.J. snapped when he picked up the telephone. Ween.J. finished his call. Nicole noticed that she had no way heard E.J. address Rita like that ahead. She has toughness. She will be fine, E.J. mumbled. What's happening, and what has got you so twisted up? Nicole inquired. After a moment, E.J. said he'd been irate in light of the fact that he'd trusted that the call had been from Paulina. You did a truly great job, ASD.A. It's gone na be her misfortune, Nicole said. E.J. vowed to have Paulina reviewed as City Hall leader. Nicole redirected the conversation back to their day of unwinding, and she gave E.J. a neck need. For what reason do you continue to actually take a look at your watch? Nicole inquired. After some vacillation, E.J. said, I'm anticipating a conveyance. Nicole sat 1.J's stage in the catalysts of squeezing a few subtleties out of him. Nothing you really want to fret about. Not at the present time, anyway, E.J. said. As Nicole jabbed energetically 8.J, he snickered. Johnny and Chanel strolled into the parlor. Johnny told E.J. that he was sorry to learn about the misfortune of E.J.SD.A. work. I would start the ball rolling in a good direction for you, however, my mother and I aren't exactly on the smart of conditions, Chanel admitted. E.J. inquired as to whether she concurred that Paulina had been in some unacceptable when she had left protection. I do. Particularly on the grounds that I am pregnant, Chanel blazoned. Johnny and Chanel grinned harshly at each other as Nicole hurled with amuse. Nicole praised the lovebirds, and she saw Fate.J. wasn't shocked by the information. Neither of you told. Is it since you guess I was unable to deal with it? Nicole inquired. Despite the fact that Johnny didn't make sense of why, he said that they had chosen not to tell anybody the news except E.J. Chanel advised Nicole that they had needed to ensure that Nicole was quick to hear the news whenever they had chosen to promote the incubation. Both of you will be comparable incredible guardians. Nicole screeched. While Nicole chattered with Chanel, E.J. gone to Johnny into the anteroom to personally talk. How could you settle on this choice when you realize sharp well that it's a mistake? E.J. inquired. Johnny told E.J. that it was none of E.J's business. However, it plainly was my business when I flew that expert in from Switzerland, right?